You want that watch, you better rock it tech. You want the chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch?
Welcome to Root Zone, bringing you the good news and the bad news of crypto. My name is Wayne.
And my name is Manish.
Now, if you like money in crypto, make sure to hit the subscribe button. So today we're going to talk about Celsius Bankruptcy, Chapter 11. What happens now? So this is just a quick rundown of what's happening. There's tons of information that is coming out, but I think these are some key points that I've collected. So here is Alex Machansky, CEO for Celsius. So, of course, here are the timeline leading up to the Chapter 11 fall, the winter that happened in 2021, right? So, after they secured about 600 million. And then we had the crypto market headwinds, right? Including the Luna collapse. I think we have covered a lot of videos on the Luna collapse, followed by a few weeks later, the freeze that happened on Celsius. I won't get into details. Most of you have been up to date with certain things. I'm just condensing the information to know what we need to do, right? And of course, that all led up to the Celsius restructuring, right? So this is, of course, a corporation. Alex set this up, I think, for a couple of years now. So yeah, some key important things to note of. So here's an asset snapshot. So of course, as a total asset was reduced by $17 billion since March 30, right, 2022. So users withdrawal was about 1.9 billion. The market decline. And market has a value of holdings of about 12.3 billion. Crypto liquidation, of course, third party was 0.9. The crypto loss investment of about 0.1 billion. So that's about $100 million. Loans, of course, of 1.9 billion due to loan redemptions and liquidation. So in short, guys, on March 30th, if you look at this chart here, you can see that Celsius was actually doing about 22.1 billion. Fast forward to July 14, it actually dropped, and now we left looking at all that is left is about 4.3. So people have sold off. They actually stopped. They freeze the accounts. They filed for Chapter 11. So I think what is left now is for us as retail investors. Our money is stuck there. We are hoping for the balance that they have, right? In terms of Bitcoin and Ethereum, how much that is, proceedings will happen shortly. So let's go on to the next slide. So of course, something you have to take in terms to note is that while there will be people, based on, I think, a collective group of Celsians who have voted for those folks, I think there was a few appointed people. I don't have the full details, guys. Okay, I'm just giving a rundown for you to still do your own research. I'm not a lawyer, neither am I an accountant, right? So this is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. It's just more my opinion from a retail standpoint, because our money is also in Celsius. So of course, most of us, when we sign up, we may not have read section 13 or point 13, right? A consent to Celsius to use of digital assets. So something that the lawyers for Celsius may be going into this, because in the event Celsius, in point number 3, becomes bankrupt and enters liquidation or otherwise unable to repay its obligation, any eligible digital assets used in the earned service or as collateral under the borrowed service may not be recoverable, right? So of course, you and me, we are in the earned service, right? That's where we actually put our Bitcoin, our Ethereum to earn that X amount percentage that is paid out every Monday in terms of Celsius. Or you are actually doing leverage on top of the Bitcoin as collateral, which is one of the other feature that Celsius offered, right? And you may not have legal remedies and the rights in connection with Celsius obligation to you other than the rights as a creditor of Celsius under the applicable laws. So of course, Celsius lawyers may be going in point number 3, but we also as retailers have representative, because we will be under the earn program and borrow program. Now, there are some smart guys out there who have actually moved their funds into the custody program, because they were known as a creditor investor. So there's a few definition for a creditor investor. I think you should be making about 200,000. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, annually, right? There's a certain criteria that you have to meet in order for you to be considered as an accredited investor, because I think the US government sanctioned certain policies to Celsius and a few um, companies that if they are not accredited investors, I believe you are not they are not supposed to actually allow you to actually gain access to this kind of payouts, because this Celsius is a legal entity compared to any other projects that you may have invested in that are on the DeFi space, right? So they were still in the CeFi, and you actually give them the tokens for them to actually give you a payout. So take note of that. Um, so of course, in the next meeting, I think these are the 7 key people that will be representing the case. I'm not too sure now who of the 7 will be. Could be all. But of course, do let us know in the comment section below if you have any information on this. But yeah, the 7 folks, they'll be representing the case. I think there's some tweets by a guy named Silver, and he is saying that uh, it is always best to not let the case prolong, because that's what lawyers will typically do. And then by the time we see the final verdict of the case, we may not even have any money to actually take. So his proposal is that whatever is in the company right now, liquidate and pay us partial of the payments, because in times like this, you may not be able to get full money back. But of course, hopefully, we can get back all our tokens, as what we have actually put in and trusted on this platform. So, of course, the next proceeding for this will be filed on the 19th of August. That's a few more, maybe about 3 weeks from now, at 9 a.m. Prevailing Eastern time. So, from here, there will be more investigation of what the CEO has actually made statements in the past. They are all public. Most of statements on the YouTube are there. There are people who are collecting all these details, tons and tons of information. Bottom line, guys, is whether we can get back our funds, right? So freezing it, I don't know. Do they have the right to do that? One key lesson here: not your keys, not your coins. Is that simple? So, having said that, of course, I know some of you have invested a lot of money, sometimes your life savings. So we always talk about in root zones, portfolio management, and never invest more than you can afford to lose, guys, especially in this space, right? So that's one key advice that we can share from these lessons. It's a life education that we are getting. So of course, good zones all about crypto, investing in crypto, knowing blockchain, NFTs. You can always subscribe, like, if this content has brought you value. But there will be more investigation we will do on our end, and we'll update you as soon as we can. So I'm going to hand over to Manish for the next segment. Manish, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Vin. Just give me a while. Yep. All right. So today, we'll do some analysis on the Bitcoin, the bull markets, and how it's going to recover, how it's going to perform in upcoming time. So Bitcoin do one of the greatest bull markets. So let's see what is going to happen in futures. Though this update is for today, but let's see. Let's do some analysis on this. So the future for the Bitcoin price actions may be much more bullish than the short-term chart says. So boom intelligence, Mike McGon. So let's do some analysis here. Bitcoin spoofed a breakout to a fresh 6-week high into a July 31st as showdown, or a both the weekly and monthly close draw near. So you can see here the Bart Simpson agreed traders into a BTC monthly close. The data from the Coin Telegraph Market Pro and TradingView shows that BTC USD consulting out all its gain from nearly in the weekend, dropping from 24,670 to 23,555 in an hour. So resulting chart structures was all too similar to a long-term market participants, creating a Bart Simpson shape on hourly time frame. So liquidations, the less reminded manageable, with the cross crypto tally totaling of 150 million in the 24 hours to the time of these informations are published. So yeah, the trader and analyst Recate Capitals, there was a now reason to believe that the coming weekly candles close would confirm the Bitcoin had reestablished a key trade line as support after a week of failure. So you can see here the support line, which is coming around 477. So, looking forward, however, not everyone was convinced that the current market strength had much room left to continue. In one of the various Twitter posts over the weekend, material scientist creator on-chain analysis resource material indicators eyed funding rates of derivatives platforms tuning increasing positive, indicating too strong consensus that the price could go up unchecked. So we are expecting the today's price, if you can see here, it's 23,782, and it's further going up. uh, so yeah, so according to the data from CoinGlass, July returns every event poised to be a Bitcoin the best since 2021 all-time high. So if you can see this in the bigger view, you can see here the year side. The July is something that it's 19% up, and in almost every year, if you see this chart, the July was the performing period. If you can see here. Yeah. So next one we can expect is July to August. It should be the good, and September there should be some drop, and again in October. So this is what the trend says from the few year data. If you try to analyze it. So yeah, that's about the Bitcoin status today. So we are expecting some bull here. Not much. It's not going to recover what it was earlier, but at least you will see somewhere around uh, another 7% up in this July and August period. So let's keep eyes and see what is happening. But as of now, by looking at the trend view and the support line and this these monthly return values, we can see that July August should be the good period for this Bitcoin. Over to you, Wayne.
Yeah, Manish, thanks for sharing. Let me just look at the fear and index. Of course, things seems to be coming up, guys. But again, we have spoke about that this will be about a 4 year cycle before we actually see something run up. So timeless strategy still remains dollar cost average, and also just in Celsius also I think had some disgruntled people, right, that actually leaked out some of the email addresses of the Celsians. I can't confirm this at this point of time, so do keep eyes if you receive any emails from Celsius. Do check first the actual email address, right? You don't want to get caught in terms of some certain scams, so do not divulge any information. Always go back to the original website and check out the announcement, especially after the 19th of July, right? I think that was what I actually
And
showed.
probably
Just
the tweet from the authorized person.
yeah, tweet from the authorized place, and just take note that 19th of July, the meetings of the creditors will be held. So only then we will know whether how we can actually go about to submit the claims. Hopefully, we can get money before the actual battle takes place, because I think Celsius is looking to use. They actually heavily invested a lot of money in terms of the rigs, right? Because they wanted to mine Bitcoin. So that's something that do we have a say? Is there something that we can actually vote on? That is still yet to be seen, right? So take note of that. So of course we have 20,000 cryptos, 500 exchange, 1.1 trillion. So of course market cap is very important. If it doesn't goes up, doesn't matter how good the project is, you may not see money flowing through that project. So of course, Bitcoin last 24 hours is down by 3.10, Ethereum down by 1.1, Ethereum BNB down by 1%, We have XRP up by 3.4%, Cardano down by 1%, uh, Solana in ninth place up by 0.73, and Dogecoin still in 10th place down by 2.06. So 0.07 Dogecoin, of course, this was something in 2021. This was when I first started my first crypto that I purchased, and we have seen that skyrocketed to 74 cents. Can it happen again? Who knows, right? Nobody knows in this space.
Ethereum
So
also quite fast. It recovered. Ethereum went up to I think 1,000 last couple of months back.
yeah, 1001, and then he's about
1,001.
600 up US. So even for Bitcoin. So these two guys, of course, these are dominant. They take almost 60% of the entire crypto space. So that's why myself and Manish, we are investing in these two because this is the only game in town, especially during the bear markets. If you have been following us since the start of this, I think we will do a recap one day of all the lessons we have learned, whether it's from the DAO, the rebases, the DeFi space, the C5 space, whether you have the scams, the legal rug pulls, even declaring bankruptcy. These are all ways that people find an exit out. And the ones that pay the price are the retailers like us, right? So we got to be very careful in this space, but it's the only game that we have right now that can actually really bring about certain financial wealth change, right?
Yeah, and crypto industry is going to remember this year 2022
Yeah, I
because there
hope
are a
I hope they
lot of
remember,
things.
Manish, because
Yeah, this is
most lessons people will forget after four years. You wait another
yeah.
4 years, another 10 million people will come in, and the same things we've seen in the space, whether it's Time Wonderland,
Mm.
certain issues that happen with some projects like
So
Titano.
this year was the craziest year for crypto. I would say that Luna Crust, Celsius, Time Wonderland, all the DeFi's, the Bitcoin crash, the Ethereum crash, major downfall of crypto.
Major, up to 95% loss
Mm.
on we almost got slaughtered. Thankfully we made money, we reinvested that money. So we were playing with free coins, but we can see even with those free portfolio, at one point of time we could have taken out quite a lot, but it's down now close to 70 to 90%. So could we have gotten out that? I think taking profits along the way is one of the rules. Most of us who have actually went in, we did not go into Luna because we couldn't understand the business model, uh,
Mm.
thankfully. But for some who actually went in, they put their life savings. So
Yeah, and
this
that thanks to certain cryptos or certain coins who help us to recover the losses we had it with others.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so guys, the never trade against the market. The cycle will come back again, definitely, but you got to be very careful where you put your money. As always, we are only 9 steps away for $1 million, right? Your thousand becomes 2,000, 2004, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, $1 million. So with each step of doubling up your money, there's certain skill sets, certain insights that you need to know, especially to manage the two most important emotions, your fear and greed. So, of
Great.
course, hopefully, all of these philosophy, wisdom, and rules we have shared and impart with you so that you can constantly put that into practice and become a better investor in the crypto space, right? So, of course, moving on, we look at Bitcoin. You can see very nice when we had the 60,000. This was when we wanted to
Mhm.
hit the 100,000. People was always speculating about 100. It never hit. Plan B did not succeed, and then we had this massive fall. Right now is trading between 19,000 and 23. I don't see it going lower than 19,000. Michael Saylor, on the other hand, has enough funds to allow Bitcoin to even go as close as 3,450 something. He did that in a post and based on mathematics. So of course, our take is to follow the top people because they can influence change, right? So if we die at our level of wealth, we all die together with the millionaires, right? People like Cathy Woods, Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, Michael Saylor. So that is a bet that we will be taking because this is the only game in town. Unless you find something else better that can pay you more than inflation and the banks, do let us know at Wood Zones. We will actually do some research into it. So that's all I have today. I'm going to hand over back to Manish. Do you have the tweet of the day, Manish?
Yeah, just a minute.
So, guys, we'll be doing this as weekly because nothing exciting is happening in the space, right? We want to make it a bit more compact, more valuable content rather than just going on during the bull run where there was so much of excitement and news to cover. So Manish, take it away, Manish.
Yeah. So it's something the same which I covered today. It's for the Bitcoin. It's trying to hit 24,000 mark this month, and probably the the next month. So keep eyes on a Bitcoin and Ethereum, guys, because that's two will help you out on this period, and it's the safest. There's nothing safe in the crypto, but at least this is something that you can further leverage on. So that's all for the tweet side. And yeah, as Wayne mentioned, we'll see you guys weekly once, because as of now, there's nothing exciting news, nothing exciting to share also. So when the market will be back, then probably we'll be back in the game with lots of contents. Till then, take care. Bye bye.
Take care, guys.
Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock it tech. You want the chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can